Today I've been thinking a lot about the art of releasing and embracing endings. Our lives are full of celebrations that focus on continued growth, such as birthdays, promotions, new romances, and happy dances over new followers or customers. Our culture, although has customs around endings, so much of the experience is shrouded in mystery, sadness, or shame. What if instead of focusing on what we are losing, focusing on what we've gained, what possibilities open up then? Letting go has a process all of its own. That rest, contemplation, and reflection are the main ingredients. Whether it's a relationship that's come to an end or the loss of a dream job, ending and releasing is a powerful tool for future contentment. If in an ending you feel no reprieve, I always love remembering the following quote: "When it rains, look for rainbows, and when it's dark, look for stars. Those are the guiding elements of hope in a world of change." There is a beauty in change, but the hardest part about it is the grieving of what once was. Sometimes we get stuck and we build resistance to the process of releasing. We fake our positivity or keep up appearances. Instead, notice when you feel inclined to shift and make a list of what might bring you joy if you release yourself from what is feeling out of alignment. Would you have more time with your family? More time to pursue your own interests? Opportunities to work in a different way? At this time of year, we are building our home apothecary and cooking nourishing, wholesome foods that celebrate the bounty of the garden, much like this chili that I am making. It doesn't require a lot of ingredients, but one of the changes we've made since shifting our way of life is growing a lot of our own food, including our meat sources. And this year, we grew our own turkeys, and I'm so happy to say that we get to use our own meat in this recipe. If you want all of the steps and process, I've put this recipe up on my blog, afarmtokeep.com. You can find the link in the description box for this video. What I love about this type of cooking is that it's usually only a single pot or pan. Everything can get contained in one pot and stored that way for days, allowing us to continue to eat a very nourishing meal that didn't take too long to combine and create. What makes this recipe special is how quickly it comes together, and its use of 2 different types of beans is delicious over pasta or potatoes. We recently had a bad cold circulate through our house, and although we've used all types of conventional methods for relieving congestion, one of my favorite ways that I turn to over and over again is a simple facial steam. I love having these dried herbs on hand, many of which we grew ourselves, including the mint and the lemon balm and the lavender. And I like to combine them all in just a simple little pot of hot water. Facial steams are so easy to create and have on hand. They make for wonderful gifts as well. But especially for this time of year, I find that it's very important to allow us to have these different systems available so that we can use them to keep ourselves well. I have the whole recipe on my blog and in the description of this video. Unlike our apple tree, our pear tree this year is bursting with fresh baking pears. And one of my favorite ways to use this bounty of autumn is to create a gluten-free pear and oat crumble. These crumbles have a special place in my heart, for when my family was first diagnosed with celiac disease, this was one of the first dessert recipes I learned how to make. And over time, I've adjusted the recipes so they are just the way we like them, and I'm hoping you will like them too. They're very easy to make. And again, like most autumn recipes, they take very few dishes and utensils to make, most of which can all be made and poured directly into your baking dish. Pears are such a unique fruit this time of year, and they have a beautiful ancient lore about them. Pears have long been associated with abundance, longevity, and were even referred to as the gift of the gods in Homer's Odyssey. My favorite folktale is about a father who wanted to teach his 3 sons not to judge too fast or give up too easily. He sends each son to view the same tree, but during different seasons. The first son thought it was the ugliest, most barren tree he had ever seen. The second son, who saw it in the spring, thought the tree was full of potential and possibility. And the third son believed that the tree was the most beautiful he had ever seen, as it was full of fruit and foliage. The moral of the story is to not judge the tree or anyone based on just one season. One must review an event, person, or even a situation of change in its entirety before casting judgment. Only in viewing something as a whole can we fully understand where we are, where we've been, and where we want to go, and what to release when moving forward. For it is the art of release that brings us to the beauty of endings and change. Whether you use pears in this recipe or prefer apples, I am certain that once you make one of these gluten-free pear oat crumbles, that you will have a new favorite for the season, for they are so delicious. And I hope that maybe you can share that sweet story of the 3 sons and the seasons with your family as you enjoy a piece of this crumble together. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I hope you will like and subscribe for future videos of inspiration and joy from our farmhouse. Be well.